Coming to you live from Athens, Georgia on WUOG 90.5 FM, it's Comedic Conversations with colorful characters. As always, I'm your host, Lawson Chambers. Also, as always, got my co-host, who, still not a ghost, keeps narrowly avoiding the icy grip of death.
This week, I'm 2 for 2 in things that try to kill me.
Kidney stone.
And this Sunday, all I'm going to say, I was in a horrible car accident. No, it wasn't horrible. It was pretty bad. But
like Final Destination bad? Or
no, everyone was fine. Let's just say it was one of the most traumatic experiences of my life, and we'll leave it at that.
And
I'm not dead.
Right.
Once again,
full on the outside.
I said it last week, and I'll say it again.
If God can kill you,
if God wants me dead,
he can
come down here and do it himself.
Offer
still stands.
It's bold talk.
Listen, I ain't scared of no ghost. The Holy Ghost.
That's something a wrestler in the 90s would say before a match, not a radio.
I got something to say to that Almighty God.
Yeah.
You come down here and snatch this life right outside me. See you in the Thunderdome this Sunday.
I like how there's certain curse words we can't say, but blasphemy is just...
Yeah, it's good to go. I apologize for the buzzing noise, listeners. Ian had to bring his pet bee in. He's inseparable from that little dude. If this is your first time listening, this is a comedy show where you have different comedians from Athens and Atlanta. You come and hang out, riff, and play games. And tonight, we have 3 awesome comedians from Atlanta who are all on Open Toad tonight at Flicker Theater, 9 o'clock. We got Ian Aber, Justin Thompson, and the host of Open Toad himself, eating a quesadilla, and Caleb's Quesadilla Review Corner. It's Caleb signing.
Quesadilla eating Caleb.
What's that, Caleb? What quesadilla would you rank that?
Ooh, this is easily the best one I've ever had.
Ooh, best one he ever had. Barbaritos and Tate, you are stepping up your game. Also, this is a special episode of Comedic Conversations as it falls on a holiday, and so it has to be special. It's the St. Patrick's Day Comedic Conversations. Justin, I see you're wearing green. Thank you. Ian, you're wearing...
I'm not wearing green.
You're not wearing... You could be wearing a Green Lantern shirt. It'd be so easy.
I could have worn green, but I didn't.
You didn't. Do you own a Green Lantern shirt?
Of course. You do. A few, actually.
Ian,
Oh, yeah.
like you're trying to frustrate me.
Whatever. Pinch me. See what happens. That's how it works. You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, now I'm
first
curious.
of all, don't touch me, and then second of all, don't pinch me.
If we
And then
pinch you,
don't tell me to wear green. So I'm really participating, but I'm going to drink a lot of beer, and I'll be surly, as is the way of the Irish.
Right. That's how you celebrate St. Patrick's
yeah.
Day.
And then he'll drive us back to Atlanta.
I will, but I won't drink that much. Just enough to.
Can you turn the microphone a little bit towards Justin?
We've
Get
already
both the guys in
blasphemed
there.
and admitted to drunk driving.
Premeditated.
We're a good start so far.
Solid moral ep.
You went to Dragon Con as not which lantern were you?
I was a non-canon
lantern.
I was a pink lantern, and a lot of people were upset by that because I could have been. There's a thing inside Green Lantern called those Star Sapphires.
Oh, yeah.
They use a purple light or whatever, and people were like, "You could have just been a Star Sapphire. You had to make it gay." And I was like, "Exactly."
What was the emotion?
Just pink, just
Just
Fab.
fabulous.
Yeah.
And we made like ring projections that were like paper cutouts of like neon. Pink, and then a friend of mine drew like it was like one was a giant lipstick, one was a shoe, one was a martini. It was pretty fun. It was fun. It was a good time.
You got anything planned for this year yet?
Yes, as a matter of fact, Dulce Sloan. Are you familiar with Dulce, comedian in Atlanta?
Is wonderful.
Dulce goes to Dragon Con every year, and she's expressed some interest in entering the Miss Starfleet Universe pageant.
Oh, wow.
So my husband Payne and I, but we're not married in Georgia. Don't worry.
Wait, we would have been 3 for 3.
Yeah, but my husband Payne and I are going to help her enter that, and she's going to be a Klingon, and it is going to be
that's great.
Ridiculous.
Is Worf or just a Klingon?
We have a lookbook right now, and it's somewhere between like a standard Klingon and Tina Turner in any movie. So, yeah, it's gonna be fun.
You know, who's the actor who played Worf? Michael Dorn.
Yeah, there you
go. Know, half the time you see Tina Turner, it's actually Michael Dorn in a costume. It's true.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. And he can pull it off.
Right? He's got the legs for it.
Definitely.
Yeah.
This thick Klingon legs of his.
I've always said that the one thing that Tina Turner was missing for me to find her attractive was face wrinkles.
Right?
I need to know that my.
But
my,
you know, Tina Turner always wears bangs, and bangs are the enemy of any Klingon because of that big forehead. You just
Right.
can't pull off bangs. They can't pull off bangs.
I just need to know how virile my partner is, so I need to see. I need to see the ridges.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what it is, right? Like the bigger the ridges,
I don't know.
Yeah.
That's what it's
It's
probably
like Pringles. It's like, you know, they're like
Pringles.
ridges, extra ridges.
All right.
Once you pop, you can't stop.
Exactly. That's what they say about Klingons. Like,
Yeah.
once you get Klingon, you never
Pay a royalty that you just said.
You know, no one has sex with just one Klingon.
What do they say about Klingon?
It's, you know what they say about Klingons, and then just like,
It's in Klingon.
you speak Klingon, you can call in and
Well,
tell me
get
what they
Remy.
say.
And the Miss Starfleet universe pageant used to be just the Miss Klingon universe pageant, and they opened it up to other races. I don't know what it is. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, but it is a
Species, I
yeah.
guess.
It's a pretty interesting. The guy who played Q was the judge at the one I went to, like, not last year but the year before. It was pretty funny.
Q from James Bond.
No, Q from Star Trek: The Next Generation. I think his name's John DeLucy, maybe. I can't remember the actor's name, but
Pretty sure it's the one from James Bond. I think that makes the most sense to me for him to host a Star Trek pageant.
okay. Well, all right.
That's just my opinion.
I'll allow it for comedy's sake.
It's for comedy's sake. It's a comedy show. Everything's for comedy's sake. Caleb, I see you're also not wearing green. Why do you hate Ireland?
I'm actually Irish, so I take a lot of offense to the American culture theft
Americanization.
that they've performed on my humble people.
You've been through a lot.
Yeah, I grew up in the 90s as an Irish man, and it was
But it was
hard.
tough for the
It was
Irish.
hard. People always kissing me.
You're just like, hey, just calm down, everybody.
It's hard for a white man in America. I don't know if anybody's brought that up.
Never, no one's ever said
Irish. Irish white.
Irishman, that's right. Although, who is that guy that I can't even remember his name? Like, who all Irish people hate because he was like basically a dictator of Britain and started. You think he invented racism in England?
They'd be the king of England.
Yeah, like that totally started like gossip. Like, who's that guy? Like somebody alive now, and then it was like, oh, who's that?
God made that guy
dude.
king.
It's divine appointment. But yeah, St. Patrick's Day, we're all here. We're all hanging out. We're all gonna go to Open Toad later. It's gonna be fun. We're gonna tell some jokes. Also, very excited today. Community came back. We're gonna go home after the show and watch
Excited
that.
for that.
Yeah, did you guys watch Community?
I watched like the first 2 seasons, and then, you know,
Not for you.
I think I may not have seen all of last season, but I've seen most of it. Probably the first 3, I guess.
It's like what's interesting to me is that like Yahoo. That's the thing Yahoo grabbed onto to like gain relevancy. I'm really excited to see how that goes.
Let's all hope it goes well.
did
I
they
hope
bring
so.
Chevy Chase back?
They not bring Chevy Chase
They
back.
didn't bring me back then.
The one person
Speaking it for the Chevster.
the one person who's a fan of Chevy Chase on that show. You can like as you watch that show, you can see Chevy Chase care less and less as the show goes on.
It's his right. I think he earned that. I think he earned being like a sassy old guy on like
Yeah,
one
it's
show.
kinda
But I
true.
imagine that's kind of how he was. Period.
Yeah, he
There's
was
like
also a sassy young guy for many years.
That's true. He's just a sassy man.
A lot of comedians get like, whenever they get old in the public eye, they all just like you can see them stop caring and become the old guy. He's like, I've earned everything. I can do whatever I want. Like Jay Leno and David Letterman, like like at the beginning of their shows, it's like, oh, it's cool and innovative, and then at a certain point, they're just a robot who just does the same thing day after
You can
day.
tell me Jay Leno owns slaves right now. I'm like, I buy that, yeah.
Someone has to clean all those cars.
Jay Leno does listen to this show. I don't know if you know that. So we're
does.
gonna.
It's the one he chose one podcast at random to listen to, and it happened to be ours.
That's why he wouldn't come.
He's pretty hip, Jay. He listens to all the podcasts.
Name a podcast.
This American Life.
No.
Nah, not that one.
Well, it's technically a radio show that gets put onto the internet. All right.
Tomato.
Not a fan of that NPR.
David Letterman, though, if you've watched him in the past couple months, has gotten really good because he's
ending.
He's leaving. and
Right, he wants to end on a high
does
note.
not care anymore, and it's very funny. His it's not caring in a funny way, though.
Right. It's just like I can't get fired now.
Well,
now
now
quit already.
Well, now
So
everyone doesn't care, so it's like that's the perfect storm. So like
Nobody's
the audience
watching.
stopped caring a long time ago, and now that he's done caring, I think everybody can. Now we can have a good time.
Yeah, everybody's on
Now
the same
it's
page.
funny for once.
Because when I watch David Letterman, you can't tell by radio, but I'm significantly older than everyone in this room. when I watched David Letterman as a kid, he did not care. Like, so that was why you tuned in, because it was gonzo. It was stupid and like sometimes really bad. But when it was
But
good,
took risks.
What? Yeah. But when it was good, it was like Chris Elliott. I remember watching Chris Elliott on David Letterman just like freak out. Like he would come out like under the guise of it was going to be a regular interview, and like one question in, he would strip nude and run around the, or whatever. Just amazing stuff.
What was Chris Elliott famous from originally? I've always wondered that.
Well, he was like the first time I ever saw him on anything, he was like the weird guy that would do the little vignettes on David Letterman.
Okay.
And then I don't know if you've ever. He has a book that's him and his father, and I don't know how true it is, but it's called Daddy's Boy, and it's like it's an account of like a comedian and his father. His father is like this famous comedian. He's more famous than him, and so Chris writes a chapter, and then his father refutes everything he says. And this is the best. It's one of the best books. And then of course like Get a Life and Cabin Boy,
and then the Chris Elliott Show.
Yeah. And Abby Elliott to you millennials. Yeah.
From SNL.
Yeah, he was responsible for that.
What's weird? How did she come from him? It's very confusing to me.
Well, when a man loves a woman,
don't need to get into that yet. Don't need to get into that.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say all this talk about Letterman, and I'm over here an Arsenio guy. No one gives me any cred. I was there from the beginning all the way through to the end.
And the beginning again?
Do you ever notice how long his fingers are? They look like pretzel sticks, like big, giant. He an alien. Like
he just nibbles on his head.
He does. He's got some like serious, like really long fingers.
Colin was trying to pull off a Jeff Goldblum impression last night. I told him he could never do it
Last
because
night.
his fingers aren't long enough.
All my life, I've been trying to do Jeff Goldblum.
Jeff Goldblum?
Do it.
Actually,
All right, can I get a
all right,
little?
let's do it. All right, hold on. Let me. Can I? I need to. I'm going to pull it up while I'm here. I'll explain if I can see if I can do this quick enough. But there's one particular commercial that Jeff Goldblum
about
is in,
apartments.
apartments.com, and that is
While pulling it up, though, fun fact for you guys: in the movie E.T., all of the scenes with E.T.'s fingers is actually Jeff Goldblum's fingers CGI'd in. Yeah.
okay.
Really?
It's a model for him.
No, it's just okay. So the commercial is Jeff Goldblum describing apartments, and that's what I've been trying to do. And this has been a really rough part because every time I hear the commercial, I have to try it, and it's not very good, and it makes me mad. So hold on.
So this is a not very good impression of Jeff Goldblum. Colin.
Of a very specific Jeff Goldblum.
Well, I'm gonna work myself up into it. I have to. Oh wow. Okay. Oh wow. Apartments.com. Change your apartment. Change the world. See?
It's not bad.
It's not very good though.
Not bad.
It's you don't even know who it is.
Yeah. I don't think you're required to even know who Jeff Goldblum is to appreciate that impression.
Right.
I think.
I really want to nail it for Cheffy.
Let's go around the horn and let's all bring it out.
Everyone, your Jeff Goldblum impression, that thing every comedian has.
Now, I was actually in a movie where I turned into a giant fly.
Oh, wow.
Now it's not actually accurate to the process of turning into a giant insect, and I know that because last summer I did in fact turn into a giant ladybug.
It's pretty good.
It's
Solid.
all right.
Caleb?
I'm Jeff Goldblum. I've been in a lot of films. I kind of look like Caleb a little bit, so it's cool being me.
Now, people don't know that was Jeff Goldblum's role in the movie he was starring with Eddie Murphy, Holy Man.
Okay. This is Jeff Goldblum from the Cyndi Lauper vehicle Vibes.
Okay.
I'm Jeff Goldblum. I'm the male version of Gina Davis.
Spot on. Justin, bring her home.
No.
Perfect.
Duly noted.
Just how Jeff Goldblum would say no.
Right.
I love one-word impressions. It's all like whenever you can just pull out.
I can do a one-word John Mulaney.
Go for it.
No.
Here's my one-word Paul F. Tompkins. What?
Pretty good.
And my one-word Christopher Walken. Wow.
I think everyone can do that.
Yeah, it's a pretty easy one to do. Yeah. But it was pretty good, Caleb. I'll give your Jeff Goldblum A-, John Mulaney B+.
Whoa. Because you're grading on a curve.
Yeah, that's right.
That's always what I
Bell
say
curve.
when I don't agree with my grade.
Speaking of grading on a curve, we're in college. This is college radio right now. We're gonna go ahead and go to our first break. Hopefully, try to figure out some of the audio problems during it. This is a track from Ron Funches off of his set on Conan. Ron Funches, Kyle Kinane, and Kurt Braunohler will be performing at the Slingshot Comedy Night on the Saturday of March, I believe, 24th. Look that up real quick. It is Saturday, March 28th.
Yeah.
Pardon me. March 28th, you got Kyle Kinane, Ron Funches, and Kurt Braunohler. It's a show you do not want to miss.
What? That's insane.
So insane. Here is a track from Ron and Funches off of Conan, and we'll have more with Ian, Justin, and Caleb when we get back. Ron Funches off of Conan. Ron Funches will be performing with Kurt Braunohler and Kyle Kinane at the Slingshot Comedy Night on Saturday, March 28th. You are listening to Comedic Conversations with colorful characters. We are here with comedians Ian Aber, Justin Thompson, and Caleb Sinan, who will all be on Open Toad tonight at 9 o'clock at Flicker Theater. Again, apologies for the technical difficulties. Hopefully they'll be taken care of by next week. But now it's time for a special St. Patrick's Day edition of one of our favorite segments here, the Inconsequiz Show, which I cannot find the theme for, so we're going to forget it.
I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it.
You're going to sing
Thank
it?
God
Okay.
you didn't find the theme. I am a vehement enemy of that theme.
Of
The Inconsequiz Show.
You hate
Oh,
it?
not the. Oh, is this the JJ version?
Yes.
Oh, then no, this one's great. I'm really bummed out you didn't.
Okay. So to say, like, oh, poor JJ.
No.
Anyway, the Inconsequiz Show is a game where there are no wrong questions, only wrong answers. I'll ask you guys a series of mostly subjective questions, and at the end, I will pick a winner capriciously and at random.
Do you mind if I start us off?
Go ahead and start us off, Colin.
All right. Ian, I'm going to set this one up for you.
Yes.
St. Patrick's Day.
Yes.
Which Chili's are you going to, and what are you going to order?
Okay, I'm going to go to the Chili's at Hartsfield Atlanta Airport
Right.
because it's my favorite. It has a really cruisy bathroom. Google that. I can't say what that means. And what I'm going to order is whatever I like because now they have a little swipe through thing where you can pay at the right at the table. So you,
awesome.
like once the waitress drops your food, because it's going to be a woman, we know how this works. Then you never have to talk to her again.
Oh, and you don't have
Yes.
to feel judgment from what you order either.
Yeah. Well, no, she still knows that you ordered all.
Yeah,
the
but you don't have
food.
to talk to her.
Yeah, exactly. Like once
You have to
like,
hear it
you're
in her
done.
voice.
Well, you are in a Chili's, so I
Yeah.
think that you
Yeah.
got all the
And
justice you
actually, it's pronounced Chili's.
Chili's.
Only the one at the airport.
Yeah,
Like
Chili's.
that.
Justin, this is a question for you. Do you prefer 3 or 4-leaf clovers?
I prefer the 3.
Yeah, all right. You're a man who takes risks. I like that about you.
Well, I like to be inspired by the ordinary.
You know, you're a comedian. You pull out the mundane and you find the beauty in it.
Makes sense. Caleb,
Take
I've
that.
got one for you. I'll give you this one. Who is your favorite leprechaun? And if you're having trouble, you can give me 3. Go ahead and
My
give
favorite leprechaun, the guy from Luck of the Irish,
me 3. The basketball playing team.
the basketball playing one, is definitely, that's what I think of a leprechaun as. The one that killed Jennifer Aniston in that movie,
Yeah.
she's a good one. The one that went into the hood, Leprechaun in the Hood,
Same leprechaun.
same leprechaun.
Same one.
Yep.
Oh, okay. Well, the hood leprechaun.
Yeah.
Specifically from that movie, I feel like
you can
was
he's leprechaun
deserving.
V2.
Yeah.
This is a question I have for all of you. What is your favorite Lucky Charm? Or favorite Lucky Charm marshmallow, to be more specific? Favorite Lucky Charm. Justin, we'll start with
Wow,
you.
you just eliminate the cereal right out of the cheese.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you want to choose a cereal, you're wrong, but go ahead.
That's a tough one.
Well, my favorite.
Colin, why don't you remind them what it is real quick?
You got hearts, stars, and horseshoes, clovers and blue moons, pots of golden rainbows, and big red balloons. And if you're lucky, there are multiple promotions at one time. You could have like light bulbs, or the moons could
like
be.
little kidneys.
There was a time in the Q1 of 2012 where the moons were missing. It was a big to do.
Yeah.
We found them.
What are some of... No, like,
Now talk about a manufactured
like
Disaster.
nightmare,
Right? Yeah. They just a drone.
Who's doing quality control on marshmallows that day? They're just like, those.
You also have the special edition marshmallows, like the pink ribbon ones they did for breast cancer awareness.
The socket wrench.
Mm-hmm.
The one that looked like little Lance Bass's missing testes for testicular cancer that month that they did that.
That one was probably ill thought, but you know.
Okay, I got it. My favorite one is Count Chocula.
That was a good. It's originally started out as Lucky Charm. Not many people know that. And what about you?
True success story.
I have to say it like they do in the commercial. Blue diamonds. I like blue diamonds because it sounds like it should be a drug.
Also sounds like Lou Diamond.
Yeah, and they look just like Viagra. So like
Blue Diamond Phillips.
in a pinch. Blue Diamond Phillips.
Caleb, what about you?
Leprechaun in the Hood 2 was good as well.
Wait, there was Leprechaun in the Hood and
He
Leprechaun
kept going
in the
back
Hood
to
too?
the Hood.
The Hood became its own
stand.
People
franchise.
said he couldn't go back, but he went back.
All right.
No, that's a self-aware leprechaun. He knows what he's about.
I just want to let you know there's Leprechaun 1,
Okay.
2, 3, Leprechaun into Hood 1 and 2, and then there's Leprechaun in Space. And I'm fairly sure there's a Leprechaun in Space too. I'm pretty sure at least 7 films were made out of that franchise.
Well, I knew this, but I didn't want to give it to the group. I wanted it to be a surprise. But actually, there is another Leprechaun movie in production that I'm like sure of, starring none other than WWE superstar Hornswoggle. If you don't know who Hornswoggle is, listeners, Hornswoggle is the incredibly, incredibly offensive little person that is tied to the wrestler Sheamus, who is Irish themed. So today's his day.
It's always the weird parts of WWE. You have to go. Just gonna choose to ignore this, pretend it doesn't exist.
Last St. Patrick's Day on Raw, Sheamus came out to fight Los Matadores, who have a little person of their own named El Torito. And wouldn't you know it, El Torito and Hornswoggle got into a little tussle of their own. And it was horrendous.
Not fun. Anyway, back to the Inconsequiz Show. Justin, what is your favorite shade of green?
Dark.
Oh, that's a good
Dark
one.
green.
It's a good answer.
No, the hunter's green. Camouflage.
Another one for you, Justin. St. Patrick is famous for allegedly driving the snakes out of Ireland. Where did they go?
On a plane.
It's actually the wrong answer. It's chalets.
And
then a plane, because
I
they're
was
at the
told there
airport.
were no wrong answers.
Well, that was
There's wrong
that was a lie.
questions. Wrong answers.
Well, that's
Ian, question for you. What are you hiding under that beard?
More beard. Still more beard.
This is a question for all of you. What's your preferred way to get drunk? Preferred way to get drunk. Take this question as you will. Caleb, we'll start with you.
I prefer wine. That's the way the Lord rolled.
Allegedly.
They never mention any other sort of alcohol, really, in the Bible.
But he did wine. Do you think it was red or white wine?
In my head, it's red, just because that's the way it was painted. But they got a lot of the colors wrong in the Jesus thing, as he was certainly not a white
Just
man.
the colors.
So he wasn't drinking white wine either, in my opinion. So red wine.
Cool.
So-
nice Merlot.
You think if Jesus came back today, he'd be drinking Fireball?
I think that is the least of our concerns if Jesus came back today.
But that's the question you were asked.
I don't think he would drink Fireball. I don't want to speak on the Lord's behalf, but in my head, that seems unlikely.
I do want to speak on behalf of the Lord. I'd say that he would like it. Everyone likes it. It's tasty.
It's sweet that he gave you that power.
That's right. I'm the new pope. Ian, what's your preferred way to get drunk?
Well, I'd like to alternate champagne and chocolate if that can work. Because like,
Oh, that's so
I
fancy.
like the diabetic coma that I slip into right before I get drunk.
Right.
Almost as much as I like being drunk.
So was it like nice chocolate too, like a Toblerone or
Whatever.
Toblerone
A
is
handful of cocoa powder, Hershey's cocoa powder in one hand, some sugar in the other, and I let it mix in my mouth. It's fine.
It's a luscious mix.
Yeah.
Justin, what about you? Preferred way to get belligerent?
In public, on someone else's tab.
There you go. That's the way to do it. That's how they do it at meets.
Yeah.
Wednesdays in Atlanta. Justin Thompson and Justin Clements.
Yeah, shout out to Meats if you're in the Atlanta area. Come out to Bone Lake Barbecue. It's 10 o'clock every Wednesday. Thank you. 11:33.
Free?
Hey, it's free. It's 1133 Huff Road.
and you get to eat wings while you do it. The best way to watch comedy is while eating barbecue.
Yeah.
Oh, that's also the best way to perform comedy.
Colin, you got one?
I got a last one. I'll give this one for Caleb. Every year, the Chicago River is dyed green for St. Patrick's Day. What is the secret ingredient that makes the river so green?
Death.
Ah,
This is a murder capital.
I was about to say.
The rivers run green with death.
Thank you. Thank
Just
you.
like the Ganges.
Yeah, green death.
You know, it's just dead things.
Last question is for Justin. Did you hear the new Kendrick album?
Yes, I did.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Yeah, it's funky as hell. Can I say hell?
You can
You
say
can.
hell.
Well, hell, that album's funky.
So much fun going on.
Hell, that album's
And that brings us to the end of the Inconsequiz Show. Thank you, guys. I will now choose a winner at random by spinning my pen, and the winner is Colin. Colin, congrats.
First time.
You know what? You asked those questions real well. These dopes didn't answer very well. I think you deserve it.
Let's show him what he's won.
Everyone
He's
be quiet.
won the pen I used to spin to choose a winner. What does it smell like?
I didn't smell it. I just rubbed it against my nose.
Oh, okay. I might have got a little something there. But you know what? You deserve it. You've had a hard week.
Yeah, got a rough life.
You know, he's a real ragamuffin.
Like
this Colin
Caleb said,
Ingram.
it's hard out there for us white people.
Look, I don't know you very well, but
Yeah.
you don't look good.
The grizzled look on my face, like war torn. I've seen some stuff. All right,
Justin, you
do
don't
you
know
how many of my Tamagotchis died on my watch?
Both.
both of them.
That is the correct answer.
Justin, you don't know Colin very well. What age would you guess he is just by looking at his face? His grizzled face.
But start
filled with.
start with the triage of that he had a kidney stone earlier. 'Cause,
He's at-
19.
No, 64.
I think Colin is like in the Santa Claus, all those elves. He's been 10 for 300 years, so he's got wisdom, but he's still a nice young man.
I like to imagine that those people were working there not by choice. That like the weird teen, they let him age up a little bit because he was more useful.
Well, that got dark.
It was the Santa Claus. He had to kill Santa Claus to become Santa Claus. It's a dark scenario in its own.
That
way.
is pretty dark now that you think about it.
Yeah. Someone's kid, like think of the kid whose dad was Santa Claus. And
Yeah,
isn't
but
anymore.
they drive over that in the exposition of the movie. They just drop
exactly.
that out there, and then it's just that then
That'd be the Santa Claus 4, the Death Claus. When they just show a sad Claus family.
no, they need to combine like Santa Claus and Final Destination, and then it's like
Exactly. It goes through like a series of Santa Clauses leading up to
Yeah.
Tin Allen,
The 20
ending with that one.
the 25th anniversary of that movie, they'll release on Blu-ray like a deleted scene where it's Santa Claus's funeral, and they're just like, "Yeah, cut it out. It's just kind of a bummer."
you know,
we film this? This is a
Tim
kid's
Allen
movie.
wasn't the original person that they cast in that movie.
Really?
It was Joan Allen.
Do you think, like, okay, in the canon of Santa Claus, there was an original Santa. So, like, who was the first dad to kill Santa?
I like to think that he was murdered. That
Right.
the Santa, it wasn't like an accident,
It
like
was
in
the
Tim Allen.
Jews.
They co-opted Christmas. That's the war on Christmas right there.
Right. They
Well-
hired a guy to kill him, and then he just became Santa. And was like, well,
Have
didn't
you
see
heard
this
of the,
coming.
Have you heard of the Glenn Beck? I think it's not done yet, or they're working on it. It's like a Santa Claus movie where like Santa Claus actually through some weird mixing of like time and stuff is like Jesus's bodyguard for like all of Jesus's young life, and it's just a weird way to tie Santa into Christianity.
Santa is Jesus' bodyguard?
Wait,
Yeah, that like
so
Then who's the Easter bunny?
okay, so when Jesus was a kid,
Yeah.
he had a
muscle.
Wait, so
and it
this-
was Santa.
wearing a red suit and the hot.
I'm glad Glenn Beck's in charge of that, and nobody else in like gay Hollywood, because that story. Come on.
So this is the Glenn Beck Christmas special?
Apparently, this is a movie that he is helping make.
Does he play himself?
Oh, I hope he plays Santa Claus.
Yeah. I hope it's the same plot as the regular bodyguard, but just with Santa and Jesus. Like that would be amazing.
That'd be awesome.
Songs and all.
Yeah.
But yeah, if Santa's his bodyguard, then who's the Easter bunny? The guy, like,
He's just the Easter Bunny. We don't want to talk about the Easter Bunny, man. Come on.
Look,
That's where Colin draws the line.
Like-
Hey, don't
It's
bring
done.
in Easter Bunny in
it's going to be a trilogy, so you don't want to give away too much on the front, you know. Like
you got Santa Claus, you got Easter bunny, you got the Great Pumpkin.
Yep.
Figuring out the origins in
Friend of the
Bible
show.
times. That's right. We did have the Great Pumpkin on.
As Andrew Michael. The Great Pumpkin was French for some reason.
It was a choice that he made. That, you know what? I'm going to say was the right one.
Ask him about it. He doesn't know what he was doing.
A French pumpkin can't be great.
He's got us. He's got us. There's a
Apologize to all French pumpkins listening.
Justin, you brought light to some hate that's in my heart that I didn't know. And I want to thank you for that.
That's what I call passive bigotry.
Any gourd vegetable could be great. I mean,
It's not just pumpkins, too. Give it up for other gourds. You got squash. You got the weird ones they put out in cornucopias that you don't really see other times. What do they taste like? We don't know. We don't give them a chance. I say throw one of those in a coffee. See what it tastes like.
Yeah, nothing like a squash spice coffee.
Gourd latte.
It's going to be delicious.
why is that not the slogan for pumpkin spice lattes? Like, drink it. It's like really gourd.
It's gourd for you.
There you go.
That's the only pun in several years that's gotten me. At the delivery, I'm coming around on puns now.
Congrats.
I'm glad I could change you.
No better way to go the next break than on a pun like that. This is a track from Kyle Kinane off of his album Whiskey Icarus. Again, you got Kyle Kinane, Kurt Braunohler, and Ron Funches all going to be at the Slingshot Comedy Night on Saturday, March 28th. Here's a track from Kyle Kinane called God of Thunder. I believe every track on this album is named after a track on Detroit Rock City by Kiss. But I'm not positive about that. I do know the tracks on his new album are copies of NWA Straight Out of Compton. I'm not sure what this one is. But here's a track called God of Thunder by Kyle Kinane. More of the comedians when we get back. That was Kyle Kinane with the track God of Thunder off of Whiskey Icarus. Kyle will be with Kurt Braunohler and Ron Funches on March 28th for the Slingshot Comedy Night at the historic Morton Theater, a classy room to see comedy. So I hope to see you come out to that. You're listening to Comedic Conversations with Colorful Characters. I'm your host, Lawson Chambers. You got your co-host, Colin Ingram, right here.
Yep. Lawson, before we get back into it...
It's 5 white guys.
It's 5 white guys.
well,
like most comedy.
I'm Hispanic.
I'm technically Hispanic.
You're 1/4 Puerto Rican.
It was on my standardized tests. But before we get started, speaking of people of the Hispanic persuasion, we have 2 kings of the Barbaritos chip in here, and I want to have a crunch off. I want to see who can get. I want to give them their own microphones, and I want to see who can give us the best full crunch. I want as much sound. Hunt for your chip. Make sure you get a good chip.
We're gonna rate them based on a variety of.
Ian, Lawson, and
qualities.
I will be the judges. We have Justin and Caleb chips at the ready. Caleb looks like he's ready. You're going to give us the first one. Wow.
That was a round crunch. You could really...
To be clear, he put the whole chip in his mouth and then crunched down. So that was the style of that crunch.
Good strategy.
It was a good crunch style.
Oh, please.
Now,
You know what? I gotta say, it was a double chip maneuver.
it was.
And I think you actually lost crunch for it.
But he also... I can
That's what happens,
respect...
you get greedy.
But here's the real thing. You ate 2 chips, didn't you?
He did.
Faster, more efficient.
And I respect that he bit down on them. He didn't get it all in his mouth, but he pushed the rest in there. He was committed. I have to give it to Justin. Congratulations, Justin.
Hold on. We have to all make our decisions here.
All right, I vote
Ian?
Justin.
Hold on. I want Ian to be the decider.
Okay,
I'm gonna give it to
for
Justin.
visually, since I'm in the studio, I would give it to Justin because Justin not only bit into the chip, but then he also shoved them into his mouth, which is really what eating chips is about. But for purely the sound of a crunch, which was the contest, if I'm not mistaken, I will have to give it to Caleb because it was a perfect 1 chip, which was what the rules were.
It's true.
Crunch.
But
I take this. This is the most serious I'm going to be all day. Okay.
Justin does get points for being a renegade.
Yeah, being a rebel. But I'd say Ian's ruling is objective and final, and I'm standing by it. Thank you, Ian.
I appreciate what you do here.
All right, Caleb, for the record, that's me officially saying I like you about something, okay? Clear. Okay.
Cool.
See, Caleb, you are good at some things.
That's why I came here.
We don't have
self-esteem.
Caleb as a guest anymore. He just comes and he's like, I'll prove it to him this time.
I actually have another guest on the show tonight. I'm very excited about. St. Patrick's Day, so I tried to find a leprechaun, but I could not. But I did find a half-leprechaun who wanted to come on and say a little something. So I'm gonna go grab him.
You bring him to here.
And Rarely learning low on Mike, so I'll just let him talk, I guess.
We need more white people in this room, so that'd be good.
Colorful characters.
The color is white.
Hello there. Top of the
hi.
morning to you.
You're a little pleasant little guy, isn't
Oh,
he?
thank you. I'm quite
do you
little.
need us to raise your chair?
No, I'm fine, thank you. I can lower the mic myself.
Hold on.
My name.
You're just so little, I can't get it low enough.
I got it. Thank you.
No,
I
I
can.
just-
I'm not. I can take care of myself. Thank you very much.
Sorry.
I'm just a little short. But hello, my name is Baba O'Reilly. I am a half leprechaun, half
was that?
Korean. Baba O'Reilly.
Baba O'Reilly?
Baba O'Reilly, correct.
Like the song?
Yes, like
Is
the
it-
song.
Don't most people refer to you as Teenage Wasteland?
No, they don't. I've heard it all before, boys. I assure you, Baba is a Korean name, and O'Reilly is my dad was a leprechaun. My mom was Korean, so I'm a half leprechaun.
So did your father taught you to speak? I'm taking it, or did you grow up in Ireland?
Well, you see, you might not really understand that my accent may not seem perfectly Irish to you. That's because
I'm
it's a
gonna
little
tell
bit.
you right now, it doesn't.
Uh-huh.
It doesn't seem Irish at all.
It's not
where's your-
entirely Irish. That's why.
Where's the father from?
My father is from Ireland.
And your mother's Bill O'Reilly.
I've heard that too.
Hey, it's 2015.
I understand
all
you're
right?
comedians. But yes, I wanted to actually come on the show to St. Patrick's Day, and every St. Patrick's Day, us leprechauns have to deal with all of you humans chasing us around, trying to catch our gold. And I assure you, you do not have gold, and you chasing us is only annoying.
So you don't have a pot of gold.
I do not have a pot of gold. No, I assure you that there's absolutely no gold that I own.
So do you have a pot of something, or like did you have a pot of gold and then?
Leprechauns, I don't know what, maybe it's Lucky Charms, like you guys were talking about earlier, but there's no such thing as leprechauns having any gold. It's just, you chase the end of a rainbow, all you find is more rain.
What do
it's
you
all
get
legend.
when you catch a leprechaun?
You get nothing. You get us saying, please let us go. This is very insulting to us.
I got syphilis the last time I caught a leprechaun. It was-
Youch.
I bet it was my brother.
read-
Sorry about that.
I read an article on Huffington Post about that. That was rough.
Oh, HuffPo.
Yeah.
Great think piece on the HuffPo.
I read it on when I'm pooping.
Great article and opinion. But yes, I assure you I do not have any gold. And to say hypothetically, I did have some gold. I assure you this gold is kosher and it was legally obtained.
What do you mean the gold itself is kosher?
It's just it's proper gold. There's nothing weird about it.
See, this bothers me.
Well, I mean,
Why would you even distinguish gold as being kosher? What I mean, like, are you implying that it's not Nazi gold? Is that what you're saying?
Is it like
it's
When people say that they don't have Nazi gold, you know what? They got Nazi
Yeah.
gold.
like is your gold comprised of like molars and old earrings?
Are you planning on sharing this gold with us?
well.
Are you going to shower us with this gold?
I'll
Oh.
answer all your questions in order, and it's yes, no, and no. I will not share my gold with you. I might
Why are you undressing? I don't understand.
I just really nervous, and when I get
steamed
nervous, I get really hot, and I try to cool
I
down.
have one question for you, Leprechaun. Who are the Nazis?
Now, do one of you want to explain this to him, or do I have to?
No, I want you to do it.
Okay, well,
This is it's your gold, buddy.
I'm just gonna pull up
You can take off your little green coat. You're
a
getting, I see you
Wikipedia
getting all
article.
steamed
I'm
up.
gonna take up my green coat. I'm gonna take up my buckled hat, and I'm going to.
But
It's St.
please put
Patrick's-
your pants back on. Right,
Anyway,
that's
I
gross.
should do that. I'm sorry. It's just very hot in here. I'm getting.
Baba,
Yeah. What do you want?
take a breath.
Okay. Thank you.
Well, no one's here is going to hurt you. No one's here is going to take your.
I'm tired of
your
people.
Nazi gold. It sounds like.
Okay, fine. It's Nazi. I own Nazi gold. Fine. There. It's out.
Do you want to tell us how you got the Nazi gold?
Would you believe I just found it on the street?
No.
Oh, by the way, Caleb, I pulled up an article of the Holocaust on Wikipedia. Just go ahead and read a little bit of that.
Now, I'll explain to Caleb. See, the Nazis...
Whoa, guys, this. This sounds bad to me.
Yeah.
I think can we all go on record saying that, not our opinion, the Holocaust was a bad thing.
Well, I think that we
Well,
can
that's
say
a
that.
fact. I'm gonna go ahead and say
Look,
that's
I'm
a
not
fact.
gonna endorse it, but let's say some gold happens upon my doorstep. I'm not going to frown upon that. I'm going to take that gold for myself.
I know some people are still on the fence about it.
Right?
Oh, I mean, I have Nazi gold. I have blood diamonds too. Is that bad?
Wait, like blood diamonds?
Yes.
Diamonds made of blood.
You seem like the leprechaun who has the worst cereal ever. It's like my blood diamonds, full of Nazi gold. That's no, I don't want your cereal, sir.
It would be very crunchy. It would be a very crunchy cereal.
Right?
crunch-
It's like,
the selling
do you have
point.
like marshmallows that are like white privilege in there too? Is what's happening?
Yeah, the
No.
hand-
What would white
Slaves.
privilege look like?
He doesn't-
What would it be a marshmallow? Just a
not-
regular marshmallow?
It'd just be a white man with like a little business tie.
All the charms go in a little knapsack.
But yes, look, when you're in the leprechaun trade, you know, you got gold circulating around. You're trading gold with your pals.
Now, is leprechaun trade war profiteering?
I really look. I came here to talk about how I did not have gold. I don't even how I. Can we talk about something else?
Well,
How about
you-
my catering business?
But you came here to talk about how you don't have gold, but you have gold.
It really turned around on me. You guys, you did your radio magic and you got it out of me. You're too good of an interviewer, I guess.
I mean,
I notice how the more upset you get, the more Irish you sound, which I love. I love.
What's this in your bag? Smash Mouth's greatest hits.
That's just, that's my CD collection. You'll find Smash Mouth's greatest hits. I got some Sugar Ray in there. I'm a big fan of 90s.
your CD
I think
collection-
we all know Smash Mouth never actually happened, and if it did, it was exaggerated.
Thank you for that.
somebody.
Yep.
Well-
Caleb Simon, Smash Mouth denier.
Look, even if I
I
have,
agree. I got to agree with him. He
what his
presents a
business-
compelling point.
no, I have a theory about
He has
Smash Mouth.
business cards that say that.
I think
The shadows on his soul patch don't really match up. There's no way-
Hey.
I think
Jet fuel can't ruin a Pacific Coast party.
Come on. I think actually Smash Mouth is just secretly 4 Guy Fieri's, and that 4 Guy Fieri's exist, and they just swap them out interchangeably.
I've never been more disgusted. Yesterday, I watched Guy Fieri's Guy's Grocery Games on the Food Network, which is like
First of all, the alliteration all over
perfect.
the place.
Well, it's
Also, I want you to know that I'm disgusted.
but this is what a contestant on the show. They said that they had to make something stuffed, and the contestant said, "Whenever I heard he said he was going to make something stuffed, I rolled my eyes because I think stuffed things are so pedestrian." I was like, "You're on a cooking show hosted by Guy Fieri, and you have the nerve to call anything else pedestrian."
Seems a bit pretentious.
Yeah, it does.
But anyway, even if I do have gold, I assure you'll never find it. I bury it in my front yard.
I wish Lawson was here for this because he really the thing that makes him the maddest is when somebody possesses Nazi gold. I mean, I've seen him just punch somebody in the throat over something like that.
This is Lawson. Come back in the room real quick and say, well,
Thank
do
you
not.
for letting us know because your voices are so similar.
They are pretty similar. I don't know what that's about, but
And you managed to open that door and walk in very silently.
sneaky guy. But I
why we keep
Sneaky
him
like a
around.
leprechaun.
Oh,
now, Baba. Well, I'm
you-
not a fan of you having Nazi gold, Ian. I will say that time I punched that guy was not because he had Nazi gold. It's because he had the audacity to say that Smash Mouth was not a good band, and I, for one, love that band, and I will not have anyone talking bad about them.
now
I
It's a
wasn't
good thing you
listening
weren't
to-
in the room just a second ago because
Oh, were you talking about?
there were some
I don't want to
pretty
hear
outrageous
this. I'm
claims.
leaving now.
he's already back out again.
That guy's really sneaky. He can walk really quietly.
Baba, how do you know Lawson?
Oh, he just asked me to be on the show. He found me on the street and tried to chase me down, and he caught me. And he's
That's
like,
how Lawson meets most of his guy friends.
It's true. Before he caught me, he ran over another guy and caught him and said, "Can we be friends?" And he's like, "I guess so. You're very aggressive, but yeah." And then he came and chased me, and he was like, "Do you want to be friends?" And I'm like, "You're not catching me because I'm a leprechaun." He's like, "No, I just want to be friends." And I'm like, "Well, okay then. I'll be friends with
True.
you."
And then he said, "I want to get you on the air. I want to tell your story."
Lawson's a weird guy.
He's a
Anyway,
weirdo.
every morning I bury my gold in my front yard.
Every
Not-
morning when you wake up, there's a halo hanging. Sorry, you said you have some Sugar Ray CDs. I thought we could.
a halo hanging from the corner
Got
of
some Ray heads in
My
My-
girlfriend's 4-post bed.
bed. That's right. What is a 4-post bed?
It's got 4 posts.
Oh, I was thinking F-O-R-E. That would explain it.
Like 4?
Yeah, like 4-post.
Like before posts.
It's a golf bed.
That's what I think that's what it is.
It's a little golf bed.
It's the 4 poster golf clubs. Sugar Ray are big golf fans. I've heard that
She
about
hangs
them.
a halo there.
But yes, every morning I wake up, I go into my front yard, and I bury my gold in a different location, so you'll never be able to find it.
So
Don't even
your
try.
yard is just pockmarked with filled in holes.
I basically live behind a chasm, but it's real cozy. I like it.
You just throw it and you just toss it in that chasm.
Hmm. You can flip a penny into it, and you can tell how deep it is when it lands. It's a very deep chasm.
What does the noise sound like? Give me a little.
It sounds a little bit like a little bit like that.
Is it the little swastikas on the gold that makes it make that noise?
It's, look, what do you think Nazi gold is?
I
It's
don't know.
not.
Wasn't
Is it in
all
bars
Nazi?
or
Wasn't all
coins?
Nazi
Yeah.
gold melted down into Nazi doubloons?
Yeah, like in the Goonies.
There's a National Treasure movie about it.
Now, some of them actually do kind of resemble swastikas, but it's not really deliberate. I think it's just coincidental.
Just a really sad coincidence.
Yeah. But there's actually I think there's another guy who's supposed to come in here too. Lawson said there was two guests. There's another comedian or something supposed to come in. Didn't one of your friends maybe? Oh yeah, so I think this is him right here.
Greetings. How y'all doing? My name's Ray Earl. I'm known in Atlanta as a hetero-phobic comic.
What is that?
Well, I don't call myself that, first of all. Colin, thank you for asking me. And this leprechaun is more like a leprechaun. I can't even understand what you're saying. Ray Earl, I've been doing stand-up for a while now, and what happens is that sometimes my opinions come out. Like, for instance, I'll get in front of a crowd of heterosexuals, and I'll find out that they're all straight, which is surprising to me because I just assumed that every audience is just filled to the brim with gays and lesbians and transsexuals and gender queers and things of that nature.
Well, once we let them get married, they got their claws into society,
right? Like you let them. That's cute. But when I get in front of a group like that and I realize that they're straight, I always say things like, "I'll talk real slow so y'all don't miss nothing," and then they misconstrue that to mean that I'm a heterophobic, which I just find weird. People are always saying that to me, that I'm heterophobic, which is, gay people are 4% of the population in an estimate, that I read on HuffPo.
Big fan of HuffPo.
Yeah, I'm a big HuffPo.
4% of the population being afraid of 96% of the population. That's ridiculous. I'm not heterophobic at all.
Yeah, that seems a bit odd.
Earl, I'm sorry to interrupt. Don't you actually write the conservative blog on Huffington Post?
I do not write. I never learned how to read or write because I feel that is an instrument of the heteronormative power structure.
The patriarchy.
Yeah.
I just want to say I support. I support.
Well, thank you. That's what I came here for. The boy who almost died a couple times supports me. Yeah. If you happen to make it through next week, I should sure use that support.
My body is frail, but my soul is burning with support for you. Right?
Well, I don't think it's actually burning. I think that might be like a cold smolder.
You seem so progressive supporting him, but you seem pretty coming down hard on me.
You are a Nazi sympathizer who owns blood
diamonds. I don't like what they did. I just own what they have.
You're half Korean, but I don't see it at all. It's like you're just appropriating Korean culture. But
the lower half of my body is just what you're gonna say.
He hates heterosexuals.
I never said that.
Okay, I'm sorry. People say that he hates heterosexuals, and I hate myself. So we got something in common.
That's real nice for you.
I would appreciate you not aligning yourself with me. You're hurting my cause.
Sorry, I
what is your agenda?
I hear a bandwagon, I hop right on.
Well, the thing about the gay agenda, that they are always talking about the gay agenda. Like, we get together at meetings and we make like a PowerPoint presentation and like, well, this week we're going to focus on sales, or this week we're going to focus on conversions, or this week we're going to focus on not getting killed in the streets. That's the gay agenda. So like, it's not always the same thing.
I actually have not getting killed on top of my agenda every day too.
Oh, well, after what you just said, I think that you need to keep that on the high alert, son.
If a murderer goes to a thrift store and puts a jacket there and you get the jacket, is that so wrong? I don't think so.
Yes, it is, as a matter of fact. Sometimes I have a hard time distinguishing between like good straight people and bad straight people, but I'm going to go ahead and tell you, you're a bad straight person. Bad.
Well, I'm bisexual, so there.
Describe us.
That's fine. That's fine, but you're just kidding yourself. Are you bisexual like that you've actually practiced that? Are you like bisexual like you're a pilot but you've only flown the simulator? You know what I'm saying? Like, that matters.
I went to liberal arts college. And I did a little bit of
like if you haven't done the field work required, like if you haven't taken the electives inside you, then you may not, like in theory.
In theory?
Yeah, that was innuendo. That's okay, right?
No, innuendo is perfect.
Veiled innuendo is okay.
You can apply anything you want.
Earlier you mentioned good straight people and bad straight people.
I did.
Could you give me just like a quick description of like a good straight person?
That's tough because there's not many of them. the best straight people are ones that you don't know they're straight. You know what I mean? Like, that they're not just throwing it in your face. Like, I saw this woman the other day, and she was walking down the street just pushing her baby. She had 2 babies, which, selfish. And they might have been twins. I don't know. It's hard to tell. But she had one of those strollers with 2 compartments for the baby. But it wasn't where they were one in front of the other. She had them side by side. So she was just blocking the road with them children. That's bad. That's a bad straight person. She ain't thinking about what's going on. She could have stacked those babies up in 1 stroller, but she's got them in 2, just parading them around like, look at me, look at me.
And you're going to assume those babies are straight also, right?
Well, I've tried making gay people the same way y'all make straight people. It does not work. It does not work. So, yeah, we do rely on you for that, for sure. But the lesbians are working on that. Let me tell you, they are working on that hard.
They'll figure it out. They're a smart bunch.
I've seen documentaries about this.
But
multiple documentaries.
You've seen like 2 minutes of those documentaries at a time. I'm assuming.
I just
And
realized
then he had to clean up.
I just told everyone where my gold was, so I'm gonna go hide it again.
You do that.
I'll see you guys
Listen,
later.
it's in your front yard. They're gonna take your gold. They're gonna take your blood diamond DVDs. It's
Love Leo in that one.
I'm tired of you jokesters. I'm getting out of here. Bye-bye, O'Reilly. Out.
I'm here in the field.
He just snapped his fingers and disappeared in a magic poof. Typical of the supernatural, just flaunting their powers in front of everybody.
I'm back. Was that guy was cool, right? Like, was there anything wrong with him or anything?
that was the coolest.
Yeah, no, he's the
All
best
right,
dude
cool.
ever.
Yeah.
You should.
Oh, Ray Earl, how's it going, man?
It's going all right. Finally, we got another gay individual in the room.
I'm-
You're not. Oh,
I
yeah.
have a girlfriend?
I get it. I
Just
get it.
dress a particular way?
You know what? I apologize. I know you effeminate straight man. You got it harder than anybody.
Listen, I'm
you
gonna
have
tell
it harder than anyone.
That's right.
I'm gonna
I have
tell
a
you
hard plight in America.
We live together, and that girlfriend of his is at our house all the time. And I don't want to cast shade on anybody, but that is a cover for some deeper issues. Lawson is a leprechaun.
It is. It's true.
And as we know in leprechaun lore, they are forbidden to love, like the Jedi.
It's true. It's sad.
It's one of their many parallels.
Only I was half leprechaun. Anyway, we do out of time though, so before we go, we do have one last segment here on the show, and that is shameless.
Typical. There ain't enough time for the homosexual
Well, you know what?
agenda.
You need to get yourself together over there, Ray Earl.
I'm very upset. Sorry. Carry on.
Why don't you promote yourself first? I'll give you that.
Well, I suggest that you see Ian Aber's weekly show in Atlanta, Georgia at the Hideaway. The Hideaway is the name of a gay bar. They had to name it that because it was literally a hideaway back in the day. It's every Thursday at 10 o'clock.
Oh, cool. That's correct, right, Ian?
Yeah. That guy's a little extreme for me, but yeah. It's,
Okay, cool. Justin, what about you? What you got you want to talk about?
Well, as we mentioned before, I am one of the co-hosts of Meets comedy show open mic thing every week at Bone Lake Barbecue Wednesdays at 10 o'clock at Bone Lake. It's 1133 Huff Road. You can hit me up on Twitter. My handle is at Justin T. That's Justin T-E-E. Or you can add me on Facebook. I don't care. Whatever.
And what's your Twitter handle, Ian?
at a bear comedian. Cool. So the word bear, the word comedian.
Got it. Caleb, what about you?
First of all, I want to say that the moderate heterophobes need to come out and denounce guys like Ray Earl. So I'll use this as a platform for that. But also, come to Open Toe tonight, St. Patrick's Day extravaganza. There'll be all kind of Irish shenanigans going on. You know how we do it.
That's at Flicker Theater, 9 o'clock.
Oh, yeah.
That's at Caleb Signin on Twitter.
Yes, indeed.
All right, cool.
Also, if you want to support me, I got an Indiegogo campaign. Or you can just, wait tables at the Chili's at the airport.
I love that Chili's.
It's a good one.
So come leave me a big tip.
You don't have to talk to me. You can just swipe the card.
Also, I just want to plug 2 shows real quick. This Sunday in Athens, we have the Empty Cap open mic in the basement of Walker's Pub at 9 o'clock. This Sunday, we got an LA comedian, Carl Hess, coming in, and he is great. He's going to be fantastic. You're going to want to see that. And again, Slingshot Comedy Night is March 28th at Morton Theater. You got Kyle Kinane, Ron Funches, and Kurt Brownoller. You don't want to miss that.
Last thing, for those of you obviously listening from Young Harris College, a bunch of Athens comedians, including myself, will be there Saturday night for you guys. So come out of the caves that I imagine you live in, crank your generator to get some electricity, and come out and come see us.
And as we close, you guys, we've laughed a lot today, but what have we learned? Justin?
You know, the leprechauns have a lot of hate in their heart, but they're not bad people.
Ian?
I learned that love conquers everything but syphilis.
Caleb?
I think we learned that whether it's one Guy Fieri in Smash Mouth or 4, it's still a tragedy either way.
Colin, and do you want to close us out with folks at home? It's time for your favorite segment.
Oh, right. I forgot. I should have been dialing earlier.
If
but
you're listening, you can call along at home for your Papa John's $5 one large topping pizza.
I might have to get the number. I don't
Large
think
one
it's in my
pizza.
phone. Papa John's is not in my
Down
phone.
911.
Excuse me, Papa John's. Hold on, let me get the phone up.
This is a pizza.
But in
emergency.
conclusions, leprechauns are only half bad. Syphilis, it's not fun. And both Guy Fieri and Smash Mouth, real tragedy.
National tragedies.
All right, here we go.
This has been Comedic Conversations with Colorful Characters. Thank you to our guests, Justin, Ian, and Caleb. This we our podcast. Find us on iTunes. You can also find us on Twitter at Comedic Podcast, on Tumblr at...
I got a dial tone. I got a
One of our listeners beat you to it.
It was just a like a dial up internet. You know how they run it over there at Papa John's. Papa size it. Hashtag Papa size me Papa.
Comedic Conversations
me.
is on Facebook and Tumblr. And so until next